This is a watercolor Canson XL book that I use, and I swatch in here with some of the paints I have. And sorry, let me go here. So I have a lot of Liquitex Basic paint colors, primary colors that I then mix with other colors to see the kind of combinations that I can get. Same thing on this side, beautiful colors. And I need to go back and refer more to this so that I can paint with some like inspiring color combinations. And then here I have more Liquitex Basic ultramarine blue that I tested with Titan white, primary yellow, primary red, hooker's green, and light green olive. So again, very nice shades. But today I picked myself up some Winsor Netwon colors that I want to mix with my Liquitex Basics. So I'm going to do a color chart similar to these. I'm going to do this one on camera to show you how I kind of go through it. And if you want to see, I actually have used this book for other painting demonstration. I have some Holbein gouache that I absolutely love and don't use, and I hope I'm not losing them because it's several years that they're kind of packed away. I do need to pull them out and play with them. Other gouache here that I have, Graham Basics, that I did some color swatching as well. This was just a template that I created to work with. And Montmartre Signature Acrylics. I actually really like these. They're very matte, like for acrylics. Honestly, only if it's on a little bit thicker, you see a little bit shinier. But for the most part, they're actually quite matte and nice to play with. And then I've played around. I love watching other YouTubers with painting, and sometimes I find things on Instagram or on Pinterest that inspire me. And so I've done a few paintings. Actually, this is from the Frugal Crafter. I really love that. She did a painting demo, and so I kind of followed along, but the background came so dark. But I love my sheep, absolutely love my sheep. Here's another one. This was something I saw as well online. Sorry, I don't always write down what the reference is, but you know, I don't plan on selling. This is really just for my own creative mind to think and work out. But very pretty horse. Again, oh my goodness, I have to remember the name of this one. She's really cool. She does a lot of tutorials as well, and I know she's got her own online courses and sort of like a membership you can join, which I hope one day I'll be able to afford to join because I really love her style. But I suck at the leaves. I'm not good at painting flower leaves, unfortunately. Here's another one I tried to, I think, practice. I don't know if that was a tutorial as well, but again, playing with flowers and leaves. Again, struggle with leaves. And I think the concept was to draw the blue background and then put like the contrasting colors on it. They're complementary colors, the red and blue. Here's another one that I saw a picture of, I think on Pinterest. I don't remember now. Some nice little, I think they're sardines or fish, some kind of fish. Really like that. This one, oh my goodness, there's another girl on YouTube that does really amazing tutorials. You can follow her live sessions, and she also sells courses. I completely messed up the perception. This is supposed to be a bear. He looks a bit more like an alien bear. And I'm sure that it's because I'm off on my proportion, especially with the size of the ears and the head. And I did it twice. Like I went over it twice with acrylic, but then I realized that I was so off. I kind of got discouraged. I put it aside and I never came back to redo it again. I'll have to kind of start over from scratch. And then my tape ripped up some of the paper, unfortunately, but it's okay. This is a practice book, and this is what's fun with acrylic, is that you can practice and nobody else has to really see it. I'm sharing it with you, but it's just for fun. And so we're gonna get back to my swatching. Let's go back into the swatching pages I prepared. All right, so here I have a permanent rose Winsor Netwon acrylic Galeria cerulean blue hue. And from what I understand, when it's like a hue, it's not like the authentic, like natural pigment colors. It's a mix, and it's a mix usually to remove any of like the toxic pigments that they might be using. So they try to get something as similar. Like this is made out of PBK11, PB150, and PW6. Any case, I noticed this to be very thick, very high coverage. This is a semi-transparent, or pretty transparent, I should say, and a lemon yellow again. So I have those three, and here I can show you, I did swatch those ones. So these are actually the colors I own right now. So Liquitex Basic, and then the Winsor Netwon Galeria acrylics. So that was the permanent rose, cerulean blue, lemon yellow. I also have this one. You can see these are like primary colors. This is a bit darker. Alizarin crimson, permanent alizarin crimson, Winsor blue, and yellow ochre. But today I'm just gonna swatch out these three. And then I'm gonna mix with Payne's Gray Liquitex Basics. I have Liquitex Basic Burnt Umber, Mars Black, Fluorescent Pink. I don't know about that one. Parchment. Now, I don't know, maybe I should have pulled out white or unbleached titanium, but you know what? It's for fun. Let's try it. I can always go back and do some more with other colors. Okay, so let's get started. So what I do essentially is I start with the lightening of the colors. Now I'll just go back to reference here. So here, actually I use titanium white. I think I'm going to pull out my titanium. I take the color and I try to see how light I can get it. And then I take the same color and I mix the other primary colors with it. And then I continue on using other colors. I have to see what's going to happen. So, all right, let's do that. So I'm going to pull out some whites just to keep consistent. Okay, and here I pulled out my titanium white. Okay, I am right-handed, so I'm going to try to do this the best I can without being all silly. I may or may not really need this palette paper that I'm using here. I'm going to leave it up at the top in case I do need to mix. Actually, I could dab a little bit there and kind of start my line. And I'm going to try and stay in focus or in frame. Just going to grab a pencil so I can write down what I'm starting with. So I love blue, so let's start with blue. So I'm going to write here cerulean blue hue. And so this is going to be cerulean blue hue for a little while. Then I could do another color and so on. So with our cerulean blue hue, we're going to start. So just so you know what I have water, which I'm going to use on the side to rinse off my brush if I need. And I just kind of put that there. I always have a couple of paper towels, even a wet wipe in case I get paint and I need to rub it off. So I'll put that there. And then I'm just going to use a really simple craft brush. I believe this is a Folk Art brand. It's just a 1/2 inch wash. Actually, they come in packages of 3. I believe I bought this at Walmart. Really inexpensive, but I like the size and I like the bristles. So yeah, it's good for swatching. So let's get started. So what I'll do, because this is going to be the first row for lightning, let's just put a little bit of blue there. See, already I don't like that this gets all dirty, so just kind of dab that off a bit. And I'll leave that off to the side in case you're wondering. Here, I'll put that there so you can see the color I'm playing with. So the first thing I'm gonna do is just take a brush that's just lightly damp, and I'm gonna put my first little box is gonna be the pure pigment. And then with that there, we're gonna play with the white to start with. So with the white, I put a little dab. And because I'm going from dark to light, so this right now is my pure color, I'm gonna put the littlest little dab of white, maybe a little bit more than that, just the littlest dab of white, mix that up with my blue. Now I know I don't want it to be too light, so I might just kind of, see, it lightened up quite a bit. So anyways, we'll just go with it. So this is cerulean blue hue with a touch of white. Now let's try and make that a little bit lighter. So add more white to that. And this is kind of the technique, like you're just adding a little bit more to the mix and you're kind of creating like a scale. So again, a little bit more white until you get to like almost the pure white again, if that makes sense. So again, oops, see, I find that's too close. And when it's a little too close, I'll just add a little bit more white again and then kind of just go over it. So that's a little bit lighter. And we continue. So again, more white, maybe too much white, but, and how far you go, like it's entirely up to you. You could do like a dark, medium, light. So you could do like 3 squares. Sometimes I like to just go to like 5 or 6 shades. So that's a nice lighter. Like there could probably be another hue or two in between that, but that's okay. We don't want to be here forever either. So a little bit lighter. And then, yeah, we'll just go get almost our white here. See, I find that's too close. Let's mix that up a little bit more. It's actually very pretty. Almost like a sky blue. See, I find that's too much the same. There we go. A little bit lighter. And then maybe I'll just take it from this side now since we're closer to our white here. And then, you know what? We'll finish it off with more white than blue. There we go. And then I'll take my brush and I will just rinse that off. Dry it, just dabbing it on my paper towel. And then I'm gonna write down here that this here was titanium white. All right, so actually now, since I did titanium white, let's see what it looks like with parchment. So very much the same. I put a little dab of parchment. See, and a little dab goes a long way. So I don't want to waste the paint, and I still have a lot of blue here. So we'll go back to the blue hue again, and I'll just do again another box with its pure pigment. Just like that. Doesn't have to be perfect. And then now we're going to be dipping into the parchment. So actually, I think I'm going to bring some of that blue over here. So I might need to put a little bit more parchment here. So again, we're just going to the next level blue, trying to keep it still close to its original, but with a little dab of parchment. So let's put that down here. And then again, a little bit more parchment, I should say. And it's, I don't know, it's similar to the unbleached titanium. I don't know, like, if they can be interchanged quite easily, but I think so. I am no color expert, guys. Please, like, if you want to criticize me and leave me comments about how I'm making mistakes, go ahead. I'll read it, but I'm no expert and I don't claim to be an expert. So I'm just having fun. And that's what the point is. This is my little art break of exploring with colors and having fun. And I highly encourage that for anyone, whether you're beginner, intermediate, or expert, because that time of just having fun is important. So again, what I'm doing is just increasing the parchment color with the blue so that it really gets lighter. You can see it's happening. I might actually now move over to the parchment side. Trying to get a little bit lighter. See, sometimes if your values are really too close to each other, then just add more. It's okay to go over it. It's pretty similar. I'm gonna I kind of lost my parchment original color there. So because I'd like to keep the scale similar, I'm going to rinse my brush off, and I'm just going to grab a little dab of parchment to put at the very end so that I can write that that's what it is. And as you can see, I'm just going to grab some off my cap here. And there we go. There's my parchment. And rinse off my brush. This is fun. I like doing this. I don't know, this is the same, and this is going to be parchment. There we go. And so next, let's continue with the primary colors. So next I'm gonna mix, I think, this lemon yellow. And again, I still have some original cerulean blue, so I'm gonna just put a little dab of yellow down, and that's already a lot. So now we're doing a primary yellow, and that's gonna be, and this is Liquitex Basics here, so just mark it down. And this one's gonna be Winsor and Newton, and I'm gonna write it here, lemon yellow. All right, let's go, let's do it. So again, my Winsor blue, such a pretty blue. Oh, Winsor blue, sorry, cerulean blue hue. I do have a Winsor blue, I don't know why that came to my head, but this is the cerulean blue. And then I'm gonna take a little bit of that blue and put it off to the side here. And let's go with the yellow again. And of course, yellow and blue make green. So, but because I don't wanna go too much into green yet, I'm just putting more to the blue than the yellow. There we go. Oh my goodness, this is gonna be a beautiful color. Nope, definitely too much yellow. So I just kind of mix it in here. I still want to keep it a little bit darker, but not too dark. Let's see. I think I need a little more yellow here. There we go. Wow, stunning. I love this color. This is so pretty. Okay, let's go a little bit lighter. Let's go yet a little bit lighter. Just a little bit. See, I'm not quite fully mixing. You can see that the blue and yellow are not quite mixed fully, but that's okay. It just gives a good idea of what you can get. Oops. See, now I kind of mixed up quite a bit, so it's okay. Play with it. Just play with it. Have fun. There we go. And sorry, my lines are a bit wonky as well. Okay, let's just go more on the yellow side now. And more yellow. And we're gonna go into the really light yellow. Almost fluorescent. And then, you know what? I'm just gonna grab the yellow and put it here. Kind of mixed it up with the green. So what I'll do is just rinse off my brush, get that clean, and it's okay. You know what? I can have an extra line, not a problem. Let's just put that lemon yellow right here. There we go. We know that's lemon yellow. Yeah, such pretty bright greens, very bright greens. So still staying with cerulean blue, now we're gonna go into permanent rose. And I think blue and red or pink will make like a purple. So let's do this. Little dab, oh, maybe a little more. There we go. That's perfect. All right, okay, back to blue. So I'm gonna bring the blue back over this side. It just makes it easier to transition. So once again, our blue box, and then a little dab of, a little dab of that pink. Wow, that is strong and beautiful. Let's just mix it up again. Yeah, I want to stick more on the blue side, so wow. Oh my goodness, beautiful. Okay, let's put some more of the pink. I did add a little bit more blue in there, so again, trying to get the next shade over. Let's see how that works. They're a little bit similar. Maybe I'll try to lighten that one up a little bit more here. Lighten it up a little bit more. Just so pretty. Yeah, I'm going all in with this. Okay, but I think I'm still in that really dark shade, so adding more pink, a little bit more. See what this looks like. That's good, it's getting there. And a little bit more pink again. Yeah, can see it changing. I think we still need more. And usually when I get to the last couple of boxes, I just kind of switch over to the other color completely. And I think that's what I'm gonna do here. Using up all the pink, I'm gonna have to add a little more pink here. Didn't add enough, but do you get the idea? So let's go get some more of that pink. Let's just add another little dot there. All right, probably too much there, but that's okay. We might go back to it after because I have to switch. Let's see, there should be more pink. There we go. More pink. I want to get to the complete natural pink color, so we'll just end it there with our permanent, I keep saying pink, but it's permanent rose. So let's just leave that there like that. Rinse off the brush. Rinse off the brush, and I'm gonna write here permanent rose, Rose, Winsor and Newton. Awesome. All right, now we're gonna try with a little bit darker colors. I think I will do the blue with Payne's Gray. Now this is fluid, so fluid might end up being a little more liquidy, but we'll still try it. I'm gonna put a little bit more blue down here. So let's put that there. Now let's see, how can I do this? Is there, okay, I'm gonna make a little bit of a mess here, or maybe a lot, too much guys, that's okay. Just rinse off my brush. I have to show you this, but after mixing these colors and the Payne's Gray, look at this lovely color. I love this dirty water. It is actually very nice. It's a very pretty color. All right. Okay, so now back to cerulean blue. Make our another box, clear, pure color. And now we are going to mix in with this Payne's Gray. So I'm gonna actually just create a little pile here. And I hope I'm in frame. I'm just gonna check. Yeah, we're in frame, okay. So a little bit of Payne's Gray with the cerulean hue. So not to throw it off completely yet, just one shade darker. Okay. And paint's paint, like, yeah, this is fluid, but the color, the pigment is still there, so it still works. It's just more liquidy than the other paint. Oh, that's a little darker. I think I'm gonna have to reverse this. Let's go into a little bit more blue. I'm not sure now. Am I going lighter or darker? See, this is my beginner mentality. I'm confused all of a sudden. What direction? Because Payne's gray looks to be darker than this. So this is actually going to be lighter to darker. See, and now I think because I got confused, I'm kind of staying in the same shade. So let's just mix it up a little bit more. Wow, that looks the same to me. I haven't really gotten a variation here. So maybe, okay, maybe I will first, yeah, this is a blender, I think. This is cerulean blue with Payne's gray. Let's add more Payne's gray. Trying to go from a lighter to a darker in this case. So adding even more. I could be completely wrong. I'm not here to teach you. I'm just here to have fun with you. You know, like maybe you know this better than me, or maybe you know less than me, but we're just having fun together. That's it. I'm gonna go grab a little bit more of my blue here. Yeah, guys, maybe I'm not gonna have as many boxes in this one. It's a funny one. But I do love the color. It's so pretty. Like, it's not what I was expecting it to do, but that's okay. But I do love this color. It's like a nice dark, almost like a shadow color. I think this could be like when you want to darken something up, make it look shadowy. So we're going to call that Payne's gray. And that's gray with an A. And that is a Liquitex Basic. All right, that's that. The next darkest color I have is burnt umber. What will burnt umber do? I'm gonna put the burnt umber here. Okay. So burnt umber, I can write it here. Another dark color, so again, it might do similar effect where it's kind of hard to get that variation, but we'll keep trying. So I do have my spot here, which I'll continue using this pile. All right, we're adding a little bit of burnt umber to this. Oh shoot, see, I forgot to do my block. Let's rinse this off. No harm done. Let's just grab some of that blue here. I hope you guys can still see. I'm sitting down with this camera over my head, and I believe you can still see. Sorry, I have a squeaky chair. Oops. That's not a good thing. If that was watercolor, I would be ruining my watercolor painting right now. Okay, so now let's try with the burnt umber. Interesting. I want to say it's a bit on the green side. Let's go with a little bit more. See, I might have gotten too dark there. Just adding a little bit more of the blue. A little bit of a poopy color. Again, I mean, it's good for landscapes and trees and things like that, but I think I went too dark on that one, so I'm gonna cover it up. And then, yeah, I struggle with these darker colors. Let's just go back into mixing it again. Yeah. Similar problem that I had with the other one. Oops, that's very blue. Let's try and go more on the blue side. But see, I should be going towards burnt umber, so I should be actually darkening it. It's not exactly what's happening. It's kind of like the blue into the brown now, and not so much the other way around. It's okay. I think I'm just gonna finish it off with burnt umber. Yeah, not my favorite colors, but they all serve a purpose. Again, sometimes you need like darker shadowy colors, so it kind of gives you an idea. And of course, I'm still gonna try again with another dark color, and this time it will be the Mars Black. So Mars Black, and that's gonna be a Liquitex Basic. And so with Mars Black again, I'm gonna make another little pile of blue. I guess we'll move over onto this corner here. And we will put it with a little dab of black. The black goes a long way. Okay, and back to what we were doing, which is going to be another little block of cerulean blue. Oops, my brush is a little bit wet. It's okay. Clean that one up a little bit. All right, now Mars Black. So I'm in the blue side. Then in the blue side, I want to add just a touch of black to start with. And black should help to darken that cerulean blue. So here's our darker blue, and then even more. Oh, I think I'm actually getting some logic in my head here. So we are going towards a darker blue. So there we go. I don't know why the black made that so much easier to kind of comprehend, but anyway, keep adding some black into the blue, and it's getting darker and darker. Oh, I really like that though. Mars Black and cerulean blue. More black. More black, more black, more black. And that is really gorgeous black. You know, you don't need to paint with just a pure black. When you want to have a black, you can always add a dab of like blue to give it more depth. I really like that. Really, really like that. And I think I'm just gonna finish it off with pure black here. The Mars Black. There we go. Wow. I like. And then I think I'm gonna throw in the wild card, which is the fluorescent pink. Just really curious what that's going to do. So I just need to find another little spot that you can still see. Let's bring that down a little bit, and let's just go up above here. All right, I just want to see what that's gonna do with the blue. So I'm gonna write here, fluorescent pink. LB. All right. Once again, our blue. I like to go back and touch the others. It's okay. All right. Woo, I'm excited. What will this look like? I think I can still play with this one here. I'm just gonna use this corner. Oh yeah, it's gonna be like a nice purple. Okay, but we don't wanna go too purpley yet. A little dab. Just a little dab. Okay, let's go a little more. Ooh. Yeah. Just a little bit more. Maybe more than that. A little bit more. Wow, this is a pretty pink. And it's similar to the permanent rose, but a little brighter, I guess because of the fluorescent nature of it. That is pretty. I'm kind of mixing in too much blue here. Wow. Oof. Very pretty. This is very, very pretty. So pretty. Let's go more all in pink. A little bit more. Oh, I had a dirty brush. I don't really rinse my brush off. Maybe I will here, just to get some of that extra paint off. Let's just go a little bit more on the pink with a little bit of purple. And yes, this is a bit more of a transparent color too, so you can see that's happening there. It's so pretty. There we go. Wow, that's awesome. I like that. All right, so I think what I'll do is just stop here for a moment. I'm gonna change my water, freshen that up, and then I'm gonna work on to the next primary color, which I think will be either the permanent rose or the yellow. I think I wanna do the yellow. I'm curious on the yellow. So we'll let that dry for a few seconds, and I will flip my paper over so it's like a fresh sheet again. All right. Okay, got me some fresh water. I'm going to flip this over so you have a bit of a fresh palette. Now the tricky part is that I will need to work on the bottom here. So, how are we gonna do this? How about we do it like this? Yeah, I think that'll work better. Flip it around this way so that I can continue here. I will need my pencil. And I'm gonna go with the yellow now, and then we'll do pink later. So this is in frame, this is in frame, and I'll kind of start from top to bottom here. Let's put a little dab here, add it as we need. And I will follow the same colors, only now we'll do yellow. And so that's lemon yellow. All right. So same principle. I'm going to be using white. So I will put white here. Watch me get more methodological. Ooh, that was way too much white, but I can still use it. I'm just going to take this and clean up my lid. We don't like too messy. Don't want it to be too messy. Okay, we don't need any more of you. I will take another fresh wipe to have in case of an emergency. Just fine. Put that on the side. I'm actually going to go throw this out. I'll be right back. All right. One thing I try to be very careful with is how much paint and mess I have around me, because I have 2 cats. And when you have 2 cats, at any given moment, they wake up from their naps and they decide they want to walk all over your stuff. So I always need to be on the guard to quickly take away things that will get very messy very quickly. The last thing you want is a cat stepping into your paint. And it has happened once where my cat jumped right onto my palette and got blue paint on his paw. I grabbed him so quickly, ran to the bathroom, and had to wash his paw. And if you know how it is washing a cat, it's a fight. It's a struggle. Okay, so here we're gonna go into the yellow now. Put my little yellow, my first little yellow square. And now this one is to go lighter, so I will put some pure yellow here and just a little dab of white, a little bit more. So that's just a little hint of white. Make that square. It's not too different. Maybe add a little more white. And then put that there. I have a hard time seeing the color myself with the light. But it is getting lighter. Let's go more white. I mean, we're gonna get right into this buttery color, like a really buttery color. And now we want, oh, such a soft, delicate yellow, but we still want it lighter. And then more white than yellow. That's a lot of white I left there. I don't like wasting paint. Maybe I'll use my scrapbook later and just wipe off anything I can. And then let's just finish it off with that white. Not a huge difference, but okay. I'm gonna write down here titanium. Oops, got a little eraser on here. Titanium. Oops, and then my lead pencil is not behaving. Titanium white LB. Okay, now we're going to move on to the next, which is going to be the parchment. Let's put the parchment a little drop. That was better than the white. All right. Let's carry over some of that yellow here. Don't need a whole lot, but enough to be able to do our line. There's our first one, and guys, I hope you can see that. Okay, there's our first one. A little bit of parchment. I might as well use that up. So a little bit of parchment. Oh yeah, maybe too much parchment, a little bit more. It's kind of a funny combo. Don't know what to think of this, but you know, you don't know until you play with it. It's really bizarre. I'm not even sure what I would do with this. Maybe the color of the ground, or maybe something. Don't know what to make of it. So I am trying to go a bit more on the parchment side now. I think I'm just gonna put pure parchment here. Okay, that was a really odd one. I don't know. You tell me, what do you think? Maybe it wasn't even worth doing this one. Parchment LB. Now we're gonna go, we're not gonna do lemon yellow because we're in the yellow, but I will do cerulean blue, so that's gonna be the opposite. Cerulean blue hue, Winsor Netwon. Did I have any blue left over here? I do. So let's put that there. I think that's all I had. A little bit here. Okay. Oh gosh, paint on my hands. Okay, so I have blue on my paintbrush right now. Oh, but I don't want blue right now. That's gonna be at the end. Rinse that off. Okay, back to yellow, and I can scoop that up. Just bring some yellow here. Let's do our little yellow block. Okay, yellow block is there. And then let's put that little bit of yellow into the blue. Actually, such a pigmented color that as soon as I put it, ooh, could I have done that a little bit lighter? Let's try and make it a little lighter. Yeah, just a little lighter. Now we can darken it up a bit. And darken it up some more. And you know what? I'm kind of silly because this combination already exists right here. I am so silly sometimes. Does that happen to you? I'm like, duh, I already have this. My primaries are already mixed here. Oh well. I guess it's practice. A little bit more practice never hurt anyone. Nope. So here we go, more dark, more dark. And then let me see if I can grab a little bit more of the pure blue. Take that color off. It's kind of drying up on my paint palette here. I don't really have any more. I guess it's very little. Here, we'll just take a little dab. I love acrylic because it's not like oil and it's not like watercolor. You can layer it, you can play with it when it's dry, and it dries quick. But boy, that's the problem. It dries too quick. Okay, and I know there are products out there that you can slow it down or whatever, but who has time to do all that extra mixing right now? Okay, so back to the yellow. Yellow and permanent rose. That'll work. A little bit of permanent rose. I do have a little tad bit of yellow still here. I can use that as a little block. And then let's see if I can pick that up without the blue. Okay, let's put a little dab. Ooh, it's like an orange. I might need to put more yellow after, but it's okay. Okay, let's go a little bit more. I think I'm gonna need more yellow though. Just a little dab more. It's kind of a peachy coral. I don't know. I want yellow. Almost don't have enough paint there. All right, let's just try that again. But I still want it to be on to the next level here. Very interesting. I don't know how I like this paint palette paper. I do have a glass board that I can use, but I just thought it would be easier to clean up a mess here. But I don't know, it's kind of waxy feeling. I don't really like it as much as the glass, but it's okay. I think I wanted to go more on the pink. So Let's just get that a little darker now. There we go. Nice. And yet a little more. Okay. Interesting. I like this color. Now I'm just making a mess over mixing. Let's see. All right, I'm gonna go just onto this side here. Oh, I will need to get more pink. I call it pink. It's permanent rose. Don't mind me. I'm just, everything that looks pink is pink. All right. Yeah, I'm getting a bit of paint everywhere here. Let's try that. My little cheat. I just want a little dab here. I had a little bit too much water on my brush, but again, it's okay. So far, interesting variety of paint colors. All right, back to yellow, and let's do yellow and Payne's Gray. Now, do I have Payne's Gray still sitting here? I do. I think I can still use it. So let's just put that yellow down again. Let's get into the next little block. And then I'm gonna take yellow here and just a tad. Ooh, I think that was too much. That was too much. Let's just take it back over here to lighten it up. Okay, that's Payne's Gray. Payne's Gray is interesting. Obviously it's in the blue-black shades. Okay. Kind of playing with that here. Want it a little darker, but it's another one of those tricky ones. Not too sure. I might have to get a little more in there. Yeah, I think that's about as far as it's gonna go for me. What I will do is just grab the Payne's Gray itself. I'm just gonna put that sample there. Okay, so yeah, that's as far as it's gonna go. And I didn't write my labels down, so let me just add that now. So the one above was the permanent rose, Winsor and Newton, and then we just did the Payne's Gray Liquitex Basic. Now we will do burnt umber, and I do have a little bit there still, so again, let's try and save some of our paint here. Do another little box. And then add the little tiny bit of burnt umber, which of course is quite a bit darker. Get into a little bit more burnt umber. Can't really tell much difference there. Maybe we need a little bit more. The yellow. And a little bit more. Yeah, it is what it is. And this is kind of the pure paint here. Okay, that's it for that. This was Burnt Umber Liquitex Basic. And I do have black sitting here still, so we will do Mars Black next. Yeah, Mars Black, Liquitex Basic. Back to our yellow, and I will need to put another dot of yellow here. That was too much. That was a little too much. That's okay. We can maybe split that into two piles. Oops, talk about making a mess. Okay, let's just make our little block here, and I think I'm gonna have one more color, which would be the fluorescent pink, so we'll leave some room there. Now, I'm gonna just pick up the black, put it here next to the yellow pile, rinse off my brush because there's way too much paint on there. Now, what we wanted to do was mix a smallest little bit of black. Oof. I don't think there's such thing as a little bit of black. It just overpowers. Oof. Okay, I want more yellow than black. Yeah, that ain't gonna happen that easily. Am I getting lighter here? Yeah, this is a bit of a lighter. And it's kind of like a light green. So let's start with this one here as the first block. A little bit like that Payne's Gray. And then we have that little bit darker here. Just a little tad darker. And then we're gonna go even darker. Oh, too dark, too dark. Katie, back up. Let's add a little bit more of the yellow. This is not easy, guys. And imagine you want to do a painting and you want to get a precise color, and like you gotta really balance it out. Okay, let's try that. Ooh, it's getting dark. Very dark. Okay. Yeah, it's a lot darker than I want it to be. Let me see if I can mix it up here. Let's try and lighten it up just a tad. Now we can go a little darker. Yeah, it's like a very dark green. Great for leaves, honestly. Like this is good for leaves. And then, yeah, we're gonna be pretty much black here. And I'll just, for the sake of it, do black, 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 black. Okay. All right, this is gonna be the last yellow and fluorescent pink, which I have pink here still. No, I think that was the rose. I'm gonna just put a dab of fluorescent pink. Where did I leave that? There we go. A little dab. Okay, just want to make sure you guys can see. All right, let's do that with the yellow. All right, now we want the littlest bit of pink into our yellow. And again, powerful pigments, because kind of took over quite a bit. Let's go. Let's do this. A little bit of pink. Now we want a little bit more pink. Just a little bit more. Interesting, very interesting. A little bit like in the permanent rose, but lighter. Oops, don't want to go off my paper here. Let's go darker. Darker, darker. Huh, interesting. Obviously my pigment doesn't look like it is too colored. Oh gosh, see the mess I'm making? Do you see that? I got pink everywhere. All right, it's okay. Whoops, let's get more pink. Okay. A little bit more. Ooh, I like this color. That is fantastical. Very nice. Let's see if we can get a little darker. And then just the fluorescent pink here, which kind of messed up a little bit, but that's okay. It's like an orange pink. That's really cool. I actually do like that. I do like that. Okay, so let's write it down. That was fluorescent. There we go. Oh, very nice. Okay, in order to do the last primary color, which is going to be that permanent pink, I will have to open the book, and I am going to change my water again, and I will probably have to put a new sheet here. So we'll just stop that here. So fresh water. Now I will have to reorganize a little bit here. So we are going to open the book because I'm going to continue on this side up here. Let that side dry. Now I could probably still use some of the paint here. What do I have? I have white. Let me just transfer the white onto this one. I will transfer the white because I did put a lot of that here. What a mess. I make messes. Okay, whatever. I'm going to actually get rid of this so that there's no messes hanging around. Be right back. Okay, we won't talk about wasting palette paper with paint. That's gonna be our Bruno. We don't talk about Bruno right now. If I could have just used my palette, my glass palette, maybe I would have just left it there to dry and then scraped it off and not had a palette paper to throw away. Oh, I have a visitor, and this is why I get rid of my paint when it's too messy. I have a little visitor here. I told you, you never know when you're gonna have your cat come and visit you out of ordinary time. All right, mister, are you sniffing? I don't want you to put your nose in the white paint, but you wanna say hello? You wanna say hello? There's my cat. Yep, my cat. Coming to say hello. Of course, I did take away most of the wet paint that I had. I only have this. No, you cannot bite. You cannot bite my paintbrush. No, no, no. Okay, cat. So you'll have to excuse me here for just a second because he likes pencils and he likes pens and paintbrushes. He thinks he can bite them like a little dog would. All right, I'm gonna pause here and get rid of my cat. Well, he's just gonna hang around for a little bit, and when he goes away, I'll continue. So let's just stop here. Okay, so my visitor went away. We are going to continue, and we are now going to work in the same fashion as this, but with the permanent rose now. So permanent rose is our next color. So a little dab. So let's just move this over here. A little dab of, I should have written it here, but I'll write it up at the top. It's transparent, this one. I'm just gonna grab my pencil. Gonna write it here. Oops. Permanent rose, Winsor Netwon. That's gonna be permanent rose all the way down. Well, I thought he went away, my cat, but he's back. Let's see if I can get away with a little bit of this. So we want permanent rose and white. Oh, no, 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 no. Yeah, I'm in trouble again. I might have to stop this one. I might have to stop. Let's see if I can get away with a little bit. No, no, no. He wants to bite my paintbrush. Yes, he does. So we are lightening up our rose. Nope. We are lightening up the rose. No. And every time I move my brush, I have my little friend here who wants to bite the paintbrush. So we're gonna go lighter. No, no, no. This is a challenge. This is a challenge because I've got I've got my cat who wants to bite the top of my paintbrush. Paint and cats do not mix. No, they don't. They do not. And it's not like he just wants to sit and watch. He wants to get into it. He wants to help. He wants to show he can paint too, which I know he cannot. So right into the titanium white. Let's rinse that off. And of course, because I have my cat here, I have to close my lid because he also thinks he can drink out of there. And we do not want any cat drinking out of that. Titanium white. No, no, no. Liquitex Basic. Okay. Well, I'm gonna have to pause again and see if he goes away because he just wants to bite my paintbrush and my pencil, and I'm gonna be getting into more paint and I don't need him to get full of it. So let's just stop here for now. All right, my cat's gone again. I'm gonna continue. I just wanna finish with the permanent rose. So basically it's our three primary colors. We're on to parchment. So a little dab of parchment. And I'm done with that. And again, we'll use this rose that's here. Let's just put that little block here. So this is a transparent color because I could really see through it. It's okay. Now a little dab, and you know what? I'm gonna move that over here. So there is a little dab of parchment in there. Mix that up. Put that there. A little bit more. I might have put a little too much, so we'll just grab a little more pink. A little bit more. I like this. It's very pretty, actually. It's getting lighter, but it's getting more opaque, meaning it's not as transparent as it first started. That parchment is actually helping to make it like thicker. Let's go in here again. A little bit more. And yet a little bit more. And the last square will be a little bit more of its pure parchment color. And I will rinse off my paintbrush and dab that to dry. Apologies for my arms in the way. Okay, now parchment, we're gonna do lemon yellow. And I will just grab a little more rose here. Permanent rose. I could use a little bit of that up there. Let's just put that there. Touching up my other boxes again. Okay, now, oh, I hear another cat coming. Let's see how far I'll get. So rose and a little bit of yellow. And a little bit more yellow. Now you're gonna know something again. I already did this one with the yellow. I had yellow and permanent rose. Now I'm doing permanent rose and yellow. So essentially I'm repeating again an exercise I've already done, but it's practice. Oops, let's go a little bit more yellow here. It's practice, that's all. We're just getting more into the yellow now. And we'll just finish it off right here. Rinse this off. Boy, I can barely get into one line and my cat's back again. He is back. Let's see, he's sitting down and watching. Will he stay like that? I won't take out my pen yet because he hasn't noticed it. So if I take it, he's gonna try to eat it. So we will skip the rose and we will do Payne's Gray. I'm praying he's not gonna take a step forward. I'm gonna put some Payne's Gray down. Yes. Yes. And he is watching. There's another lovely mix. I love dirty water. Okay, we have pink here still. Let's make another box. He is being very good right now. He just curled his tail around his body and he is looking, but how long that will last? Oh, I just went with fluorescent pink by mistake. See? Trying to rush with the cat next to me. Let's put my rose. I'm praying, guys. I'm praying that he doesn't decide to walk across this table. Let's clean that up a bit. Okay, so parchment, yellow. Now we're doing Payne's Gray. I should have done the cerulean blue, but I've already done it. So you know what? We'll skip it because the fact that I'm nervous now that my cat's so close, we will just go with this. So this should be more on the pink side with a tad bit of blue. Payne's gray. What am I saying? Not blue. Payne's gray. Let's go a little bit more Payne's gray. It's lovely. It's like a purple. A bit transparent too. Yep. I'm not getting too much darker than this. Oh, 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 nope, 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 nope. No, nope. Nope, nope, nope. It's a challenge. And you know, normally my cat is still sleeping at this time, and then he usually starts to get pestery around 4:30 in the afternoon. We're not even 4 yet, but he's insistent. All right, let's write these in. Parchment, LB, lemon yellow, Winsor Newton, Payne's gray, LB, and then we're gonna do burnt umber, LB, Mars black, LB. I don't know if it's worth doing fluorescent pink with it, but let's see. Oops. Oh, I got cat eyes on me. Oh. Nope, nope, nope. He's just trying. Okay, enough, guys. I won't be able to write this because, nope. Oh gosh. Okay, we're gonna stop for a second again. The struggle is real. Okay. Let's try writing this. No, kitty. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can get through those 3. Now I already have permanent rose and cerulean blue, so I won't do that one over again, even though I did it with the yellow. Let's try this again. Put my block here. And of course, my water to rinse. Oops. Let's see if I can put my umber. I'm doing very risky stuff right now with my cat right next to me, watching and waiting for opportunity to strike. Okay, that's with a little bit of umber. A little more umber. And a little bit more umber. And yet more. and just the pure umber. Now we said Mars Black. Oh gosh, I hear my second cat coming. I can hear those little feet pitter patter. Okay, we got some black down. We need again some pink. Closing that up. Another bit of pink on there. Oops, kind of going off here. Really makes a difference when you start being nervous about what you're doing. Excuse me. He just wants to grab the paintbrush. And of course, here I am trying to paint with it and it's like wiggly. No, 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 put that paw down. No, 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 put that paw down. Guys, can't quite show you because I can't move my camera right here, but oh, he's got interest. So this black really pigments strongly. It really does. But I'm just gonna go for it here. Nope. Nope. I'm not, nope, 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 nope. All right, enough, enough. No, no. I don't suggest you do this. This is high risk. Maybe I should call this, oops, I didn't want to put my paintbrush into fluorescent pink. Maybe I need to call this episode Painting with My Cat, but I do have pink here, so I'm going to put a little bit there. Painting with my cat. High risk, high risk. Okay. I like this fluorescent pink, but boy, somehow it's just getting all over me. And if it's all over me and I have my cat, oh, I don't want it to be a fluorescent cat. Let's just clean that lid. Okay. Okay, let's try this last line before any accidents happen with the cat next to me. Okay, this was a fluorescent pink mix. I don't know if this is actually going to do anything, but there was already a little bit of pink here. Let's mix that. It's getting messy. I don't like messy like that. Yeah, permanent rose and fluorescent pink. I don't know. This might be a dud. Let's try that again. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna leave it at that. All right. Let's just rinse off our brush. All right. So here's the permanent Winsor Newton with titanium white, parchment, lemon yellow, Payne's gray, burnt umber, Mars black, fluorescent pink. And earlier we did do the cerulean blue hue with titanium white, parchment, lemon yellow, permanent rose, Payne's gray, burnt umber, Mars black, fluorescent pink, and the yellow lemon Winsor Newton mixed with titanium white, parchment, cerulean blue hue, permanent rose, Payne's gray, burnt umber, Mars black, and fluorescent pink. And I am going to get rid of my paint before my cat gets into it, because now he's trying to find my paintbrush. Oops. And we don't want that to happen. Well, I had to hurry up and clean up, and so I didn't actually say goodbye, but I just want to say thank you if you stuck around to watch this video up until now. You are a superstar. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope we meet again on the next video.